Oh, okay. Hi, Teresa Lent. My name is Haley Lent. We are a group of Marshall High School students dedicated to exploring and documenting the rich experience of individuals in Marshall, Missouri. Our mission is to preserve, share, and celebrate the rich history of Saline County through the lens of its students. By researching, documenting, and showcasing key events, figures, and milestones, we aim to deepen community pride and understanding. Through our work, we strive to connect the past to the present, fostering a sense of heritage and inspiring future generations to appreciate and contribute to the country's ongoing story. By sharing your experiences, you can help us preserve the unique history and culture of Marshall for future generations. We ask that you please review, sign, and keep a copy of your consent form that explains it in detail. Let's get started. So, the first question: can you tell us your full name, when, and where you were born?
Teresa Lent. I was born at Carrollton, Missouri,
When?
1954.
On February 14th, right?
Correct.
How long have you lived here in Marshall, and what brought you to the area?
In October the 3rd, 1975, I got married and I moved over here to Marshall from Carrollton.
Growing up, what schools did you attend, and what was your school like when you were younger?
I attended Carrollton St. Mary's Catholic School from first grade to eighth grade. Then I went to Carrollton High School from freshman through senior. And then I graduated in 1972 and went into the LPN program at Marshall, Missouri in 1973 and 74.
So, when younger, how did you get to school?
We drove in a car because we went to Catholic school back then and you couldn't ride the bus, so you had to go by car. So when I got to public school, which was out in high school, then I was able to ride the bus because we lived 5 miles out in the country.
So, did your parents always drive you to school even when you were younger?
It, when we were younger and we went to St. Mary's School, the neighbors and us took turns driving
Okay.
kids into school.
What classes did they offer, and did you take? What was your favorite subject?
In high school, or
Just in general, throughout all your years?
um,
I assume you took the basic social studies,
history,
yeah,
English, math, science.
science. And since you went to a Catholic school, did you take religion class?
Yes, I did for 8 years.
Okay, so then what was your favorite subject out of all of those in elementary school, middle school? Like, what was your favorite subject out of all?
Um, oh gosh, I don't really have a favorite. I liked school, so I liked everything.
What activities or sports were popular?
I played basketball, volleyball. I ran track. I high jumped in track. I um,
So you're relatively
active and
active
yeah,
child.
yep.
What were you involved in within the school besides your athletics?
I was National Honor Society. I was Spanish Society. I took driver's ed. We had driver's ed at school back then, which I still wish they had nowadays, but they don't. No, I'm just saying that I think it helps. I mean, with kids who don't have the opportunity to drive and stuff like that.
Okay, so that was your early life, and now we're moving on to your adulthood.
Okay.
Tell me about your career after high school. Did you go to college, trade school, workforce, military?
I went to LPN program at Saline County
Career.
Career Center at Marshall. I drove back and forth from Carrollton because I still worked at the Carrollton Hospital then as a nurse's aide.
So tell me about your family after high school. What was it like to date in this area?
To date,
Yes.
um, I met my husband as a blind date, but I already knew him, but it was supposed to be a blind date. And We dated for several years, and then we he was from Bosworth, Missouri. I was from Carrollton. We ended up over here at Marshall, Missouri, because his job at Wilson Foods brought us here when we got married.
What were things you would do?
For dating and stuff like that,
Yeah.
there was roller rinks, and I did that until I broke my arm. Um, and um, ball games, uh, dances. They had dances on Friday nights. Um,
So you said husband, so I assume you got married.
yes, in 1975.
So did you have children?
I have two sons.
Okay. Are there any businesses, buildings, or landmarks that used to be here but aren't anymore?
Yes. When I first got over here, when I was married, I still worked at Carrollton, so I had to go back and finish up my year at Carrollton Hospital. Then I came over and worked at Waverly for a year, and then I came over and worked at Saline County Rest Home, which is the Living Center now. But at that point in time, it was out at in the country where Jackson's um, barbecue or Jackson's.
Event centers.
Yes, thank you.
So
That
what were some distinct memories you have of pop culture, like movies, music, TV?
hmm. Oh, I I enjoy watching movies. I enjoyed watching TV. I
What are you most proud of in your life?
my children and their children.
Okay, so that was adulthood. Now we're going on to community history and changes. How has the community changed over the years?
Okay. Well, I worked at Fitzgibbon Hospital when it was on Brunswick Street, and it's gone now. And we moved to the hospital, Fitzgibbon Hospital, in 1991, where it is located now. Um, we were married at St. Peter's Church, which was on Errol Street, and there is no church there anymore. And now it's out south part of town.
What were some of the biggest events that happened in this town during your lifetime?
Well, when I first moved over here, Carrollton was a lot smaller than Marshall. And so it was kind of scary coming to the big town. For me, it was a big town because I lived in the country all my life. And they had several murders those first few years when I got here. And it was pretty scary. We became the murder capital of the state for a while because we had murders at the park. We had murders in the old Pizza Hut parking lot. There were murders out south at the hunting reserve place. It was a terrible time for all that. I'm not sure exactly what all happened, but anyway.
What national or world events stand out in your lifetime and how did they affect the town? Like Cold War, Civil Rights, JFK assassination, 9/11, Watergate, COVID-19, stock market, stuff like that.
Well, I remember when John F. Kennedy got shot. That was terrible. I can't remember the year. I should remember that. And then I was working at Fitzgibbon Hospital the morning of 9/11 when they hit the towers.
What advice would you give to the young people growing up in this town today?
Um, Go to school, get your education, um, be active, um, stay off your phones in school if you can.